Today, nice meditation, by the way. But let's get to topic that I find very, very interesting. And when I realized this, when someone brought this up, I was like, wow, that's powerful. That's interesting. And it's the idea of confusing self-criticism with insights. And let me explain what I mean. Sometimes I see this a lot in the self-development industry, in spiritual communities. And I've gone through this, that's why I'm talking about this. That we tend to see something within ourselves. And awareness is amazing. We need awareness. Awareness is beautiful. But I've talked about this in the past. Awareness without self-compassion is just self-criticism sometimes. And we become aware of something, of a pattern that we have, of behavior that we just did, something about our personality. We become aware of something. And then we start thinking like, oh, this always happens to me because of this, or I always tend to attract, you hear this a lot in spirituality, I always attract these kinds of relationships because I'm whatever. Or I always end up in this situation because I don't have enough, or I'm too, or I'm not this enough. And it's fine. Like I always say, we do need to face ourselves in a compassionate way, in my opinion. We need to look at ourselves. There are things that could be improved. There are things that could be looked at, maybe worked on. But when all of our insights are technically criticisms of ourselves, it becomes an interesting journey. Because think about this, sometimes we do things to ourselves that we feel like it's okay, but then when you take a step back, you realize how harsh it can be. If your best friend, your whatever, partner, a sibling, parent, a child, the person you feel like is closest to you, that you care about the most, if that person comes to you and every time you see them, every day, you tell them something that you see in them about their behavior, pattern, the personality, something that you think should be changed, something that in your opinion is maybe quote-unquote bad and should be changed, something that maybe you don't like that much about them, something that you feel that if they changed, their life would be better. And that's how we justify it sometimes. Oh no, it's just for their own good. But if every single day you tell them something that you don't like about them, do you feel like that relationship will last a long time? Do you feel like that person will feel good around you? They might, if you approach it in a very, very open, caring, loving way, compassionate way. But if you're even slightly harsh, maybe after a month, 2 months, 3 months, or less, they'll get sick of you. They're not gonna want to come to you every single day you're telling them those things. But in a way, we do that to ourselves. Maybe today you looked in the mirror and you realize you don't like your body, and you had a negative internal dialogue with yourself about your body. Maybe tomorrow something happens at work or somewhere, and you respond in a way to a coworker, a friend, family, someone. You respond in a way that you thought was whatever, too something or not enough, and then you had a negative internal dialogue with that. And then the day after, something else happened, and every single day we criticize ourselves, and sometimes we confuse those with, oh no, it's for my own good, it's for my, I need to, whatever, I need to get better at this. And I get that. But how are you approaching this? Are you being compassionate with yourself? Are you being gentle with yourself? Do you honor your process and give yourself time on your journey, or do you feel like you should be perfect already? Like you should have no weaknesses, should have no triggers. You should be perfect by now. You should be perfect already. So I just invite you to pay attention to that. Was it an insight you had about yourself, or was it self-criticism? Was it awareness in a beneficial way, or was it awareness in a new way, another way in which you can be harder on yourself? See what it was, and see how you can shift that maybe to a more compassionate relationship with yourself. That helped, and I'll see you tomorrow.